How much do we focus on the written word rather than oral tradition? In the low context United States, we require words to describe everything. If it isn't written down, it isn't real. It certainly isn't legal. Words are not binding by themselves. We need it written down. We say talk is cheap, or that's just words. Proof is in the writing, in the letter of the law, or contract. In this tradition in the United States, we assume that if something is not in writing, it loses legitimacy. But in other countries, a piece of paper means nothing, but it's the spoken word from a person that carries weight and integrity. So imagine two people from different traditions and the assumptions and miscommunications they may make about in talking to each other. Another cultural theorist, Geert Hofstede, said cultures vary along 5 dimensions. So you're going to read about this, and we'll talk about this just briefly. First is what he calls power distance. This dimension expresses the degree to which less powerful members of a society accept and expect that power is different and distributed throughout society unequally. In high power distance cultures, we accept that there are upper and lower classes. We don't think that everyone is equal. Second is his concept of individualism versus collectivism. And this dimension focuses on questions about whether people prefer a close-knit network of people or prefer to be left alone to fend for themselves. Is the group more important, or is the individual more important? Do we value or frown on someone who goes off on their own? In the US, we tend to value the so-called rugged individual. Other countries have sayings like, the nail that sticks up above everybody else is the one that gets pounded down. They don't value that individual. A third element Hofstede talked about was masculinity versus femininity. And according to Hofstede, this represents a preference in society for achievement, heroism, and assertiveness versus femininity, or preference for cooperation, modesty, caring for the weak, and caring about quality of life. And he's saying cultures can vary on what they value. Of course, this is a theoretical framework, and it changes as women are more and more involved in the workplace. And one might say rather valuing assertiveness versus helpfulness or nurturing. Fourth is called uncertainty avoidance. This dimension expresses the degree to which a member of society feels uncomfortable or uncertain with ambiguity. How specific do things have to be before you can feel you can take action? Or how much risk do you feel you can tolerate to do things that are uncertain? And last is long-term versus short-term orientation. Do people generally think about the world in terms of immediate results or in terms of many generations? Is the distant future something we should even think about? What matters, today or tomorrow, our generation or future generations? Cultures can view things differently.